Hi guys, well, or maybe I should say, hello everyone. Hope everyone's all okay. And I know it's a bit of a weird period and difficult at the moment, but things will get going and we all should get through to this and hopefully get back to normal as soon as possible. So obviously been still in contact with Dana and Zoe since I have left, and they did ask me to do a little video like theirs. So obviously I'll do whatever I can, as much as I can, but they asked if I could maybe talk about what I've been doing since I left hotel school. So not sure if some of you knew, most of you might have known, my husband actually is a chef, and he is a head chef and co-owner of a restaurant based in Bethnal Green. So this restaurant is called Datera, and it was a year in January, so we've just been a year and a half literally coming up now. So obviously being in hospitality years before hotel school, I actually have always been involved in the restaurant since it opened, kind of impossible not to. So once I've always been involved, helping out here and there, depending how it got. Last year in October, the restaurant actually gained a Michelin star. So I know some of you might know about that, some of you might not, but you can look it up, but it's actually quite a big thing in restaurants, okay? Chefs go by it by a lot. So obviously since then, the restaurant has gained a lot more publicity, and obviously it's got a lot busier, meaning my help has probably needed being a lot more. So gradually I started helping a bit more, and then it kind of got to a point where I needed to be there. My support was needed more. So not just on the floor, but also other things as well. So after the Michelin star, things got busier, and then it got to the end of Christmas, and it was time where I needed to be there. So that is where I'm now working. So I'm now working with my husband in his restaurant, okay? Working together again, we've done that before, so it's not nothing new for us, okay? So my role there. So basically, my title is operations manager. The reason why that is, I am based on the floor, as most of you know, that's the thing I do. However, there's a lot more involvement now, especially being the partner of Raf, so it's like a lot more I do. So it's a small restaurant, let's say. It's 11 tables. So for some of you that have done work experience, you know that that is small. Okay, the max covers that we can do is about 30 to 34. Okay, so small numbers. The style of restaurant as well, just explain a little bit so you get your head around it. So it's tasting menu only. So there's no choice. The guest has no choice. They sit down, and the only thing they choose is whether they want an 8-course or 11-course menu. Okay, so, and it's blind then. So the menu doesn't state what food they're getting. Okay, so it's a really big experience. It's all about, it's like a lot of places are doing this. Well, some are, but it's quite a big thing for Michelin star restaurants to do as well. It showcases the food that the chef wants to show, but also the guest has no idea what's coming, so it's kind of gives them a good excitement throughout the meal. So they choose what style of menu they want. Other things which are quite unique about the restaurant is the table is the guests for the evening. So people which are working in restaurants and hotels might know that some tables are turned, so they need more people. Here, once you sit down, that's your table for the evening. Mainly because you can be sat there for 3 to 4 hours, depending on what menu you go for. Okay. Another quite unique thing is the chefs actually serve all the food. Like some places, chefs serve food, but here, chefs serve everything and explain everything. So front of house is, okay, you may think that they do nothing, but obviously there's the talk between the clearing, managing the wine and the drink service, but also working along with the chefs. So it's a very close group, let's say, and it all partly being together is what makes it run. It's not like some places where I worked before where it's very front of house and chefs. Here it's all together because it needs to be, because literally they're serving the food, we're helping organise it and control it. So so that's what the restaurant's like. So operations manager. So the daily things that I might deal with is obviously checking the menu. Okay, the menu which we print and give to the guests at the end of the meal, not before. Okay, reservations. So I deal with all the reservations, as in we have an online system, but basically any emails, questions, because obviously being a menu a little bit different, guests will ask questions. They want to know, can I have this? What about that? I'm allergic to this. Can you do the menu? So it's just managing all of that, making sure we get the responses back to them as soon as possible. Obviously, staff. So when it comes down to, there's a team of, we have 14 staff members altogether, I would say. So it's not a huge team, but there's more kitchen than front of house, obviously. And so it's just managing things like holidays, new starters. So when there's a new starter, I like getting the contract ready for them, making sure that they've got all the details they need. And then also the front of house side, I check who's arrived. Are they on time? Like, what do they need help doing certain things? Like, they know who I am. I'm there to support, but I'm not always just going to be able to set up the restaurant for them. There might be other things I need to do. Then the other thing about like dealing with the accountant, so because obviously we're a small restaurant, so things like HR and a payroll team and a separate accounts office doesn't exist for us, let's say, because we're small. So we have an accountant, but I deal with them as well. So when it comes down to certain things for the staff or paying suppliers, we're close contact with it because it's smaller. So it's not like, oh, the purchasing team deal with it all. No, we literally are dealing with, we're emailing the suppliers what we need and what we want. And then also we're managing, making sure that they're paid and all things like this. So all of this. So that's where the operations part comes under, because I'm not just going on the floor and staying on the floor. Obviously, another thing is as well that we actually are within a hotel. So there's a lot of hotel meetings, which I might have to attend to. The hotel work really closely with us, which is great. So we just got to make sure we're close with them. So any new things happening, any changes, the more we know about each other, the easier it is for us. So it's good to have contacts with them. Okay, so there are a lot of the things that I'll maybe do before services, let's say, checking everything's ready. Then during service, I'm literally on the floor, hands-on. So I could be greeting guests, I'll be helping my colleagues working on the floor, clearing, serving, if it's helping with the wine, anything like that. So literally hands-on with it all, because it's all small, like literally there is no separate cloakroom, there is no separate this. It's like literally everyone does a bit of everything. So that's why it's kind of like when we're hiring staff there, it's quite unique because it's not just I only do this job. You kind of got to do a bit of everything there because it's a small team. So they're the things like during service, getting involved, helping the chefs. What can we do? Where can we go? Yeah, so they're like, let's say, all of the day-to-day things. Like, obviously, as you can imagine, my husband's the head chef co-owner, so kind of we don't stop, let's say now. The restaurant's only open 4 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. However, the 3 days off, it's the only time where we're not at the restaurant, where we actually can catch up on other things that need to be done for the restaurant. So, and also discussing what we can change, what we can do. So our lives are kind of that, which is quite common and normal when couples have got restaurants as well. It's like, what can you do? What can you change? How can we improve? How did that service go? And then obviously then dealing with certain guest situations. Some guests start to getting to know you more, so they want to question more. So there's a lot going on. It's non-stop, but it's fun. It's great. The team that we work with, I've worked with a lot of them before, so it's kind of like just walking back into what I left before I did hotel school, which is great. I do miss certain times the teaching side of it, but then at the same time, I am doing certain trainings at the restaurant, so on certain dishes or on food or what we need to do in service. So I've still got this kind of, I can still do my little presentations and stuff like that just to get going again, which is nice. So obviously, the whole situation which is going on at the moment, the restaurant is shut, unfortunately. We was open till we were told to close. I know a lot of restaurants were starting to close before, but we stayed open as long as we could. It was a really difficult, weird week because every day we didn't know what was happening. Staff were getting anxious. It was a lot of stress. So once the government actually said to close, it was probably the better thing for us in the way that we just knew, right, that's it. There's no more worrying. Oh, well, the worries start, but in a different side. So obviously everyone is at home. We pop in the restaurant once a week just to check on things, letters and stuff like this. But however, it is fully closed. So it's a bit of a shame, but there's not much we can do. We have to do it. It's for the best thing, let's say. So what I've kind of been doing while at home now. So obviously we keep in contact with our staff. Just making sure everyone's all right. Just making them aware of what we're doing on our side to support them or to making sure, keeping them up to date, especially things like the fuel, the government paying the staff. We are having to do that. So we're just making them aware that what we've done, we're on top of it, it's going ahead. So just reassuring them that we're not just not doing nothing to help them. Obviously, then it's a really good time for me and Raf to actually talk about what we can change. I've even just been discussing it with other front of house that I've been working with via messages and stuff like that. What new things we can adapt, what can we get ready? So if it's about things like menu layout, anniversary and birthday cards, how can we present them differently to make it more unique, more personalized? Tea and coffee lists, what can we add, where can we change things? So it's a good time to actually really start thinking, what can you do, what can you change, how can you present something differently? Because obviously, as we spoke about before, restaurants are always changing and you need to keep changing. If you stay put for too long, then you become dying out and you don't get on top of what's needed. Other things though, which I've been doing, obviously some of you may know that I do have a dog. So we've been taking him out for big long walks, which is good. So we get outside, do some exercise. Got a garden, so I've been out in the garden. I know that might be a bit weird for some of you guys thinking that I actually go in the garden. But yes, I have been in the garden. I have been sorting out the things, making it look nice and neat and just, well, also just sitting in the sun where it's nice. But yeah, been getting out there as well. Done a bit of reading, and also we started painting a bit, which is sometimes a bit dangerous because we just get excited and paint everything, but it's all right. It looks so far so good. So just keeping ourselves busy, just making sure we don't get too bored, but we won't. And I think hopefully before we know it, we'll be told that we can reopen again, and then we'll probably start panicking that we've not done things that we wanted to get done ready. So we're taking every day as it comes. There's a lot still to deal with, and hopefully we can get going and get open again with everyone. So obviously, this is just a short little chat. Zoe and Dana has asked me maybe to do a couple of others, so I'll look into that. If you have any questions about what I've spoke about now, just let them know. They can ask me, then I get back to you. It's absolutely no problem. But obviously, that's just a quickly update of where I am, what I've been doing since I left hotel school. I hope everyone's all good, yeah, and keep positive. I know that Dana and Zoe have been in contact a lot. I've seen all the videos as well. They're really cool. I've seen Michael as well, even Jeremy, which is amazing. So keep going. Obviously, we will get through this. Hopefully, it won't be too long. We're all in the same. Me, I can't wait to get back. I just want to get going again and actually see my staff, communicate with them, chat with guests. It's just want to get doing it again. So, but yeah, so keep safe, stay positive, and yeah, maybe I'll do another one and see you soon. Bye guys, see you.